Alrighty then. Before, always, you know what time it is. It's time for me to just set everything up, and let me just put the chat at least on subscription only just to avoid bots. For those who are just tuning in or watching in the future, and if you're asking yourself why did I put in subscription only on chat, is because on the last live stream, which is unlisted right now, in that last live stream I was essentially pretty much just getting assaulted by bots like crazy. So let's see where I'm at. Hey, there I am. Anyways, yeah, that's the main reason that I'm going to be putting a subscription only for chat. Of course. Shut up, me. Let's just go edit the video. I don't know why the hell did I put in an event in the description. PTS. There we go. The just live stream done. Save you on save. Give me a sec, I'm still setting everything up. I appreciate everyone who watched that video that I put in on, what is it, on the, I actually did forget. Oh yeah, Solarian, yes. How's it going, Snake? Welcome. I am still setting everything up. Oops. Didn't mean to go there. But yeah, today I will be trying to discuss some things in regards to this new update. Obviously, some of the changes that we've been getting thus far, because we've been getting at least updates every single day, in case you didn't know. Except yesterday. Yesterday was the issue. I'm going to put in the subscriber time at least 1 minute. 1 minute subscription only for chat. There we go. Now it should be working just fine. Let me just turn on Trove. You know, I had to do all of this. It's telling me to log in. God damn it. I keep every single time to keep me log in. I'll wait a little bit more for people to join in. Or maybe if the Discord or the bot decides to notify. Unfortunately, it's not doing that. Oh well. I guess I'll just wait it out for a little bit. Because that always happens. Okay. I'm right here on the test server. Actually, a little fun, well, I wouldn't say fun fact, but yeah, yesterday I actually got myself a new controller. It actually has like 2 pads on the back. It is the reason is that the other controller that I did have was my, oops, sorry about that, oops. Get rid of you and put myself in. Yeah. But yeah, my other is, let's a little bit down. The reason being is the other controller was my brother's, and this one is now my own controller, and the other controller that I was using is pretty old, and it was having trouble just doing this, you know, doing the wiggle. So when I was moving towards the left, like if I actually just went in circle and I was moving towards the left, it will just stop registering right around this area, like around here. It will just stop registering, and it was super annoying because Trove, whenever you're moving towards the side, if you stop, it will go like this. Like if you're just moving, then all of a sudden it will stop moving. Like Trove has like a really snappy system when it comes to the movement, and And yeah, it is very, very wrong. It's so bad when you have like a somewhat messed up controller, because when you're holding forward and you try to move towards the side, and obviously the snappy feeling from Trove is just going to make the controller just feel so off. Anyways, let's go over the little bit of the discussion. So today I'm just going to be more so trying to explain for those who don't know or haven't kept up with anything related to the Sunrise update. I will try my best just to let you know what are going to be some of the more notable changes that has been going on over the past week that's been going on here on the test server, because again, we've been getting an pretty much a patch every single day since the update came out on the test server, so there has been a lot of different things and a lot of notable things to keep in mind. So again, let's see, okay, so it got notified on the Discord server. So if it got notified on the Discord server, I guess I should just already start. So we're going to first of all start talking about Solarian and how many things did they change over the past week on this class. Holy Jesus, it has terrible vibration, this controller. Holy God. Anyways, so Solarian pretty much just remained unchanged from what it was back in day one. The only thing that it got changed, it was one time it had a bug, a pretty bad bug with one of the hidden effects, which essentially just keep creating like chain reaction upon chain reaction upon chain reaction. I saw some clips, by the way. I managed to see some clips. It was broken beyond belief, and so yeah, that got fixed, which is understandable. The little phoenix right here essentially just got more HP, and now is a little bit more tanky. It's not going to die in like one shot, so because it used to die really quickly. Now it doesn't die as quick. It still dies pretty quickly though, but still almost remains exactly the same thing. So there's no very many things. So the classes still do ridiculously high DPS, and nothing has changed in regards to just keep adding damage over time upon damage over time, and you know, the class still remains the same up until this point. I don't know if it actually got a buff. I do believe the same hidden effect, which was completely bugged, it got a small buff that it actually now does more chain lightning, not chain lightning, more chain explosion, which is pretty cool. But aside from that, like, the class pretty much remains the same from what it used to be back in week 1, which is very surprising, because usually when a class can do ridiculously huge DPS, they usually just tone it down, which I'm very surprised that this character didn't get toned down or anything toned up. It's literally almost exactly the same thing, which is very interesting. And honestly, I'm not complaining, because this class is super interesting in my eyes. So in my own personal opinion, it should definitely be a thing to keep a note of. So that's number 1. So Solarian pretty much just remained the same. Some of the other notable changes that has been going on is going to be, for example, which ones was it? Like, should I go with Crystal Gems or over 11, or should I go with the new biome? I guess I'll go with the new biome. So going over the new biome, let's just go inside the new biome. In the new biome, sorry. Pause question mark, I guess. In the new biome, they pretty much just introduce every single... The enemy just died. But yeah, most of the things in the new biome, they essentially just enable the crystal level 4. They increase some of the rewards that you used to get. They added in the empowered enemy once again. Not once again, but they added the empowered enemies, which was on the patch now, but it wasn't there. So all of that got introduced, also including 5-star. 5-star also got introduced. and everything related to the new 5-star. So pretty much everything in the new biome that it was mentioned in the patch notes, it got introduced over time during this whole week, which it turned out to be like, you know, the addition of all of those things. I will be just talking about some of the things in regards to the new biome. So the new biome, obviously, in terms of how it looks, is, you know, it's not my favorite in terms of how it looks. Like I just mentioned, it's pretty much like a combination between Geotopside downstairs and Radiant Ruin upstairs, which is, you know, it's not the best, but it's not bad. It's not a bad biome. There's plenty of new resources, obviously. Usually happens when there's a new biome. And these new resources are going to be something that you're going to be using a whole lot, which I'm going to start talking about some of the things that I personally don't enjoy too much about this update thus far. Again, everything in the test server, everything's subject to change. So I'm going to say a couple of little important things. So first things first is going to be in regards to the new resources. The new resources are not too difficult to actually obtain, but the thing is you need so many to actually just get everything, which I don't know how I feel about it. I'm going to start, once I start talking about the crafting recipes, you're going to see like what I mean. Like some of the things are just absolutely what the hell is going on. So that's how it is. Let's just go over here. So yeah, the new biome, the empowered enemies. At first I thought it was kind of, what I mean, like, it was kind of too strong, but at the same time, when I was just doing it, when I was just testing it out myself, they aren't that difficult, empowered enemies, and they are pretty much used for everything relating to the 4 new dragons, which is something very interesting to say the least, which I just need to remind that the empowered enemies are going to be the one that are just used for the new dragons. And the thing is, one of the things that I don't know how I feel about it is that those enemies are going to be an uncommon type of enemy that you're not going to see a whole lot. The spawn race is kind of bad, if I'm being honest. So I don't know about that one. Like the spawn rates on those enemies are kind of bad, considering that whenever you use one of those buffs to actually start getting the dragon fragment, it's only there for an hour. And again, you're not going to see them quite often, if any. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it 100% of it. And they cost the Sunder crystal thing, like those things that you do need for a lot of items regarding mastery on this update. The Sunder crystal shard, whatever it's called. So yeah, the empowered enemy is in that regard, just because of the spawn point is kind of rough. Then obviously I already talked about the biome, the 5-star dungeon and the 5-star dungeon objective. I think it's cool. I think I like the 5-star. I like the new 5-star that they added in, and everything related to the objective and how it does play out. I do feel that the being 2 minutes, I do believe it's still 2 minutes up until this point, is still a little bit too short of a time, considering that 5-star dungeons in Geotopside are easier and they're 3 minutes, and this one is 2 minutes and they're harder, which makes absolutely no sense. And considering that if you honestly miss that objective 5-star, is kind of rough. So I don't know. I do feel the A needs to be just increased a little bit more in terms of like how much time it takes. Let me just go into an outpost. But yeah, the 5-star cool objective, but they are still kind of time 5 minutes, I guess. Sure. Oh yeah, the daily quest. Is this one still ridiculous? 500. It used to be 750. 500 is still a lot. Because you get those plants from all the way over here. You can get them from defeating enemies if you had the buff above that you can just get it in the outpost. Which is right here, yeah. Which costs only 20 of those plants. So I guess. I don't know. Nothing too much of a nature with the daily quest. It's not that it is impossible, but it was like 750, so that one that like make absolutely no sense. 500 is still quite a bit, but I guess more dailies. Not going to make or break. It's not like it. Like you can easily just skip it and do some of the other dailies, which are easier to do, but if not, then you can actually just do this daily and just get some bonus EXP. So I did talk about the empowered enemies and the new 5 stars, and obviously the biome in general. Let's go over one of the biggest. Like, this is the thing that I was just talking about in the Discord a little bit. The crafting recipes. Okay. I'm going to be brutally honest. But what the hell are these crafting recipes? This crafting recipe makes like no sense. And I was just checking and just going over all of the crafting recipe, and then all of a sudden I decided to do some comparisons to some of the other things and look at the difference between two separate allies. I posted it on the Discord, but look at this ally right here. 5 Phoenix mode, 40 unnatural devices, 15,000 ember slag ore, 4,500 ashen spoiling, and 5 ashen soul. This is for an ally that only grants 7 jumps and 100 light, and no special bonuses. Then if you look at it, this ally, which is 100 light, 10% physical damage bonus, which is slightly better. And look at the crafting recipe. 750 ashen spoiling, 350 ember slag, 1 ashen soul, and 13 unnatural devices. So the way that you obtain all of those resources that I did mention is you obtain the ashen spoiling from, like I just mentioned, again. You get them from every type of plants that you do see down here. Defeating the plant enemies right there can actually just drop you, and it can actually just drop from the enemies if you do have the food equipped, which is all right. Ashen spoiling, not the most difficult to get, but yeah. Then the ember slag ore, you saw them right there, pretty easy, nothing too special about it. The unnatural devices do spawn randomly around here on the ground. They are not too common, but you can actually just find them from time to time right here. This is all, by the way, this is everything excluding the boxes or any of the store pack. I'm just talking about just regular grinding the items itself. So let me just see if I can actually just find this stupid thing. Unnatural device. It's not the most common thing, by the way. At the very least, all of those resources that I just explained are tradable, which is a good thing. Not all resources, by the way, are tradable, but at the very least, the ember slag ore, the spoiling, and the unnatural devices, all of them are tradable. Can I find at least one? God damn. Where is at least one? I'm throwing. There's one. Okay, finally. Jesus. Took so long. But yeah, that's an unnatural device. You're going to find them randomly on the ground. Obviously, that's how it does work out. Anyways. And the last item is, if I do recall, the Ashen Soul, which you get it from loot collecting or composting the treasure, not the treasure, the trophies from the enemy. So if you defeat enemies, obviously you get a chance of getting a trophy, and you just compost this trophies right here, and they will give you a soul. They can also drop from the boxes, but yeah. So getting stuff like these allies is not too difficult. At least these two allies, you know, this is a reasonable crafting recipe. But then again, it's 750, 350 Ember Slag or 1 soul and 13 unnatural devices, which can take you quite a bit to actually just get them. But then you look at it like this ally. Look at this. Like, just look at this. That looks like a goddamn typo. That's 15,000 Ember Slag ore. Ember Slag ore is like the equivalent of like getting nitro in terms of rarity and how many you can get per hour. It's pretty much around the same as nitro. So this is going to work. So crafting an ally, this ally that you can get it from the store, by the way, but crafting this ally with 15,000 Ember Slag ore is like the equivalent of upgrading 1 crystal level 3 and 1 crystal level 4 in terms of nitros. So just giving you like a little bit of a comparison. This one is 350. This one is 15,000. Then we look at the Iridium ore, which is just as rare, if not rare, than the Ember Slag ore, which is the ore that it is found in the upper area. By the way, for those who are wondering. So again, 10,000 for an ally, and then you need 40,500 for another ally. For a mount, you need 17,500 for this mount. 17,500 for another mount, 10,000 for a tome, 20,000 for another tome, 6,500 for another tome, 5,500. I don't know why the hell this one is 5,500, but a mount is more. Like, what? This makes no sense. A standard mount is worth more than a pair of wings in terms of ores. And this mount grants 50 mastery points. And this one grants 100. And both are pretty much blech. And obviously 30,000 for a costume, 25,000 for another costume, 25,000 for another costume. Then you need 45,000 to craft one of these items, and PowerShell just appears. Get the hell out of here. Actually, hold on. Let me do that real quick. I forgot that I had display. Now let me just put in game cacher so you don't get interrupted with any stupid crap like the PowerShell. Anyways, but yeah, as I was saying, 45,000 for the Ember Slag ore, 90,000. Look at this stupid crafting recipe. This looks like a goddamn typo, I swear. Like, I don't need to explain to you how ridiculous this sounds. You need 90,000 of the Iridium ore, not to mention all of the other resources. It's 45,000 from here and 35,000 the Ashen Sporling. This to get these two items, which is used to craft the new class. Yes, you need these two resources that are ridiculous just to get the new class. Not to mention 150 of the Primal Gem Shard. That's it. You see where I'm coming from? Like when it comes to the crafting, that is a thing that they have not changed throughout the whole week, and it is ridiculous just to see this crafting recipe and still not being changed. Sorry to say, but this is horrible idea. Hey, this even being 9,000 is saying that it is just being like, oh yeah, there's quite a lot even at 9,000. But at the very least, 9,000 is much more doable than 90,000. Again, let me just remind you that getting this new ore is found all the way up here in this upper area in this new biome. And it is found in these types of pockets. I found 9 right here. I'm just looking for more. There's a little bit more. Oh, Jesus, the lag. And then I just found 2 more. Yay. Ow. And then I just found 8 more in total. Right there. Yay. So you need to get 90,000 of those resources for one item that is used to craft a class. And that's just for one of the 2 items, not to mention the 150 primal gem shard. That like, you get what I mean. Like, it's so bad. Like, the crafting recipes are just bad. Bad. Really horrible crafting recipes. And they need to be looked at a little bit more. And considering that all of these can be gotten from the store, which makes it so blatantly obvious that they just want you to buy the store packs. Which the store pack should have been an option, not a necessity, which at this point it feels like a necessity. And obviously there's some other crafting stuff, like, let's just say for example, this. Then you had to craft these items. Like, these items are more doable. At least the items in the collectible section are more doable. Like, look at this. It's a goddamn pair of wings and it only requires 550. Like, why is this pairs of wings? I'm like glitching now, hold on. Why is a pair of wings only cost 550 of the new ore, but an ally costs 10,000? What? Like, there's no logic between the two. That's my biggest gripe as of right now in regards to everything related to the new biome. Pretty much, this is my biggest gripe. Like, the crafting recipes are ridiculous. All right. Now let's move on into Uber 11. After doing Uber 11 for more and more and more, I noticed that Uber 11 really isn't that difficult. Isn't that bad. It's actually perfectly in line to what Uber 10 was when we joined in Uber 10 for the very first time. So I get it. It feels like a ridiculously huge spike in difficulty from what everyone is used to. Like, everyone is just used to, you know, Uber 10 and just being able to one-shot literally anything and everything, versus Uber 11 where your damage is literally this. You know, I get it. I totally get it. It is essentially, it feels like a night and day difference, but after just using it for a little while, after just playing Uber 11 for quite a bit actually, Uber 11 really isn't that difficult. The only one that is kind of difficult, which makes no sense, is the new enemies in the new biome. But if you actually just go up against enemies like this one, you know, slightly easier, and you have to keep in mind that my knight is far from this being the strongest actually. Not only is 38.3, I don't have like a lot of light to show for. I actually was researching how much damage do you actually do more towards the end portions of the game. And the perfect example was, it was on the latest stream. Because I actually was just checking on some of my timelines and some of the people that were just going up on streams. And I actually they saw that Scythe got 44,000. I was like, oh, so that's actually like pretty much the perfect power, and that I just wanted to know of around 44k. Which is not maximum 46, but it is obviously not 42. Which is what most people are going to end up being immediately. And 42, I'm already pretty sure how much damage that you do. But a 44 is like, oh, that's when you're starting to actually start to upgrade some of your gems. And I definitely noticed that he was doing around 2.6 million damage per shot on Shadowhunter no flask. So I was just going like, oh yeah, so let me just see. Let me just crunch down the numbers. So 2.6 million damage per shot, that's literally 1.3 million damage coefficient over 10 at 44k. Which it means that a 46 should be a little bit higher, or around that area. So if I actually just crunched out the number, let's just say the 1.3 million damage coefficient is around the average of from 44 to 46. That means that there's plenty of, like, I can actually just know which the characters can actually start doing pretty good damage, because that is without flash. With flash, that's like 6 mil per shot, which again, that's like 3 mil damage coefficient. 3 million damage coefficient around, you know, at, what is it, like at 44. 3 million damage coefficient with flask. In other words, class, like, let's just say for example the knight. The knight does 4.5. 3 million times 4.5. It means that with basic I would be doing so 4.55 actually, but let's just go 4.5. So if I actually just put it down like this, that's 3 mil, 3 times 4, it's like 13.5 million damage per basic. That's actually not too bad. 13.5 million damage per basic with Spirit Squire. That's close to double damage from that. So we're talking potentially like 24 million damage with Flash Spirit Squire, which I'm pretty sure I don't know if that can actually kill regular enemies. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. Actually, let me just... Actually, I'm actually curious now. Let me just go into Geotop site. I don't think that's capable of one-shotting. Unless enemies in Prime Roll are just tougher for no reason. Yeah, what? Wait. Is this supposed to be a thing? Look at this. Look at how fast they're dying, comparable to Prime World. Look at this. Look at the damage. Wait, is this actually a thing? We might be onto something. Hold on. So let's just go 1, 2, ow. And we might be onto something. Look at how fast it's dying comparable to what I was doing in Prime. I might be tripping, I don't know. Hold on. No, it's definitely dying much slower. What the hell? Yeah, enemies are dying much slower in Prime. You can actually just see the chunk of damage. Hey, look at that. 4 million damage. Like, they got 2 hits and it was like 4 mil. Hold on. Actually. What if my light is not even like 8,000? That's 7.3k. That's obviously with the first hit on Berserk Battler. That increases to like 7.5, 7.6. Look at that. Like, I'm saying that the same amount of percentage. Oh, I got no flash, no wonder. Like, I'm saying I run the same amount of percentages in Geotopside without Marshall than when Marshall on Prime. They just unintentionally made the enemies in Prime just tougher for no reason. If that's the case, then that's a big yikes for me, champ. Yeah, look at that. It's like, it literally feels like the enemies inside Geotopside have like half HP from the enemies in Prime. That's actually very interesting. That should be very, very interesting. No, it shouldn't be a problem with max light. Like, Uber 11 is not as difficult as I thought it would be. Especially once I started increasing my light, I definitely noticed that. Like, look at it, look at how fast it's dying. And yeah, they really made just enemies inside Geotopside just weaker for some reason. Or they just made the one in Prime stronger, which I'm led to believe that's the case. Because in all of the elemental world is the same as Geotopside, so I think they kind of messed it up a little bit, not gonna lie. I wish I could just... Yeah, I wish I could just not die immediately in like Uber 11. Let me just change all my gems to Shadow Hunter just to see how much damage would that be. How much light do you need just to farm Uber 11? In order to farm Uber 11, in order to start doing damage, you need 7,000 light. In order to farm, I mean, I can already farm with 7.3k, but to farm somewhat efficiently, 8,000, I would probably say, is where you're going to actually start seeing huge spikes in damage, like 8,000, 8.1. That's when you're going to start seeing actually just big increases in your damage output. Let me just do this real quick. There we go. We're going to the Shadow Hunter. Give me a sec. I don't know if there's a faster way to actually do this, but yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure every single class can just do digital damage. Again, I'm not going to say which class is just going to be strong or weak because I have no clue. But definitely for sure, like all classes are going to be digital now. Pretty hefty damage. All right. So let's not jump the gun and just say, oh yeah, this class is going to be great, bad. Again, that's why I'm not going to say like which class is just great or bad. There we go. Ow. Okay. It's like 3 bursts immediately. It's like an immediate 3 bursts. Hold on, Jesus Christ! I see a lot of big paragraphs. Give me a sec. I'm trying to just test out a little bit something real quick. I'll read everything out in just a bit. All right. Give me a sec. Because I know the enemies inside this biome in particular. I'm so terrible. Hold on. I know the enemies in this biome in particular resist more. For some reason, but that's the case. But it is the case. But I want enemies outside of that biome. Yeah, they resist more. That's interesting. They do resist more. Enemies in prime worlds. Because as you can tell, I was killing enemies in 9 shots with Marshall. Now, yeah, it's like it's like 13 shots. You can actually tell. You can actually just tell the difference. That might be a little bit of an oversight that needs to be looked at. But enemies in prime worlds are just tougher. Which makes no sense. Anyways, now let's read out everything. Sorry, I just wanted to test that one out because I felt it was kind of weird. All right. Alex for my Untitled PTS got 9.9k in lives. So if I upgrade my gems to crystal, will I get like 9.3? Not really. Maybe 9,000. The amount of light increase from stellar to crystal is not a whole lot. Like physical damage, critical damage, it is a lot, but and crit hit as well. But the light, like for some reason, is like barely any difference. You might see like an increase to like 9.2 at most, but I don't think so. You're definitely not going to see a huge increase in light. I don't know why. Might be wrong, but I think they buff all mobs. It's just mob in top side receive more damage because of light. I'm not sure if it works like this. I'm pretty sure. Let's just go into another adventure portal to see how it's supposed to work, if Geotopside is weaker or if Prime World is stronger. But yeah. Another question, what's the best way to get Empower Gem? There's no best way, unfortunately. It's just time get it. I'm working at Shadow Hunter. I don't want to waste qubits on Regeminators since they're going away soon. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no better way to actually just get Empower Gems, unfortunately. Because the only way that you get Empower Gems is via doing the weekly contests, obviously using your Lunar Souls. Whenever there's an event, completing adventures on Thursday. But yeah. Let's go over here. Yeah, this one is like Prime World, so Geotopside is weaker. So Geotopside is definitely weaker than all biomes. Why? Why is Geotopside then weaker? That makes no sense. And the thing is, in Geotopside is the only portal aside from the new biome to being able to get crystal level 4. Like, what the hell? Yeah. Yeah, it seems to be that way. It seems to be the case. That seems to be the case on... You can easily tell just by the first burst. You can easily just tell immediately that it doesn't die as quickly. An oversight for Geotopside, I guess. I mean, there's plenty of oversights in Topside. You have no idea. Like in Topside, there's like a couple of bugs already. I mean, I'm not too surprised. That's going to further solidify people just to grind Geotopside only once again. That's going to suck if that's the case. Because everyone's just going to end up... Like, Geotopside is still among the more important out of all of them. Not only because of the flux farming, but also because of being 5 stars, being able to grant you crystal level 4, and also as well, crystal gems right there is the one that grants you light, and you need light for over 11. Like, for some reason, the most important biome out of all of them is the easiest one. What the hell? Let's just go here. Actually, just lost all of my train of thought. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. This is actually discovery right here on stream. There you go. Hey, look at that. Look at how easy they die. They just get deleted. They literally just die by 3 bursts on the Shadow Hunter. And I miss all my shots. Gee. That's interesting. That's so interesting. That is so interesting. I don't know what's going on. Now I need to ask this question. Should Uber 11 be like Geotopside in terms of like the enemies being slightly weaker? Or should Geotopside be like, obviously, like the other worlds, as in slightly stronger? That's actually a huge difference right there. That's such a huge difference. Like, look at that. Technically 2 bursted, essentially. Versus 4 burst on the other enemies. That's so interesting. Wow. Alright, so I'm not going to discuss so much about Uber 11, considering that this is actually a thing. Because depending on who you, depending on what you're doing, it could be either difficult or easy. But Geotopside seems to be much easier than all of the other worlds. I need further testing for that. I need to just further go out and just test out in the other biomes as well to see if that's the case. That's interesting. Anyways, but yeah, in Geotopside, at the very least, in Geotopside, it's easy enough for you to actually just grind out Geotopside even at the lower stats, which would make a whole lot of, you know, sense. Like, you could look at that. Look at how easy it is for me to actually just get rid of enemies, even at not even the high light, mind you. Interesting. Interesting. Like, pretty much all of the biome, by the way, all of the biomes should work the same, but just like it would make no sense if Geotopside is easier. But at the same time, who cares? It's an oversight. In my eyes, I think this is an oversight. Anyways, now I'm not going to discuss too much in regards to Uber 11 because of obvious reasons. Uber 11 for me still is, I mean, it could be a hit or miss. That's the thing. Because it pretty much just makes some abilities which are slower pretty meh, but at the same time is, I don't know, like I really don't know how I feel about it now that I think about it. Like for Geotopside in Uber 11, it feels like Uber 10 pretty much when it launched. Like Uber 10 when it launched, it was much easier. It wasn't much, it was much easier than what it is right now on Prime, but it was still difficult enough that a lot of people were still somewhat struggling to do Uber 10. And then Uber 11 comes around in Geotopside. It feels almost exactly the same as it was in Uber 10, but in Prime World, I don't know, they're kind of tougher. I mean, it's still doable. I mean, I guess it's still doable. It's not too difficult anyways. Like the fact that you can still do it, that's the bottom line. The fact that it can still be done is still interesting to note. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. This is something that a lot of different a lot of different people who had to help out in terms of just giving away some feedback, because this This is going to affect the average player, or the player that is not fully maxed out, comparable to the maxed out player. Maxed out player is still going to pretty much kill pretty fast. But the average player is... like, I don't know, which of the two do you prefer? Right? Which of the two do you prefer? Enemies feeling like this one, like, you know, 7,000 light, give or take. The fact that you can, you know, not speed farm, but you can technically just kill dungeons in somewhat decent pace. And obviously once you do get into the higher stat value, it's just going to feel way easier. Or do you prefer a slightly tougher one, which is like in the Prime world? Very, very interesting. Let me go into, you know, a portal that I never have been into. Igneous Island. Yay. I almost went to a rally blade. That would suck. Let's see. Yeah, they are tougher. I believe they have around the same HP, but they resist a whole lot more. I don't know. Do I have Berserk Battler? Yes, I do. I do have Berserk Battler. That's why, like, it's difficult for me to test out, because I am dealing more or less more damage, especially once I start reaching out higher. Higher light value because of Berserk Battler. I don't know. What the hell? Why does this enemy's feel even tougher than even Prime? What is going on? What the hell is even going on? The knockback so annoying. Why is this enemies in the fire world feel even tougher than everything else? Did my food run out? Yes, it did. Of course it did. There we go. Yeah, my food actually ran out. Actually makes a whole lot more sense. Like, it's like it feels so... That's so odd. It's like 9 birds without Marshall. Pretty much over 11, what it's telling me is like, use Marshall and Arcane, essentially. So if you're not using Marshall and Arcane, I totally didn't crash. Classic Trove, classic Trove. Hey, sure, I don't mind. Okay, there we go. Yeah, top side. It's like 2 bursting versus 4 bursting. Oh, my train of thought. Anyways. But yeah, that's interesting. Let me just go over Uber or whatever the first portal. So start talking about crystal gems. Now let's start talking about the main controversy amongst a lot of players. crystal gems. Obviously, upgrading crystal gems and getting crystal gem is not complicated. It's just way too unnecessarily time consuming for some of the things. So for example, like, it's not complicated. The only way that you can obtain crystal gem is either upgrading them using crystal gem converters, which obviously the resources are ridiculous, but I'll get more into that. The empower gems are going to be from crystal empower gem boxes only, and obviously class gem is going from over 9 Shores of the Everdark, and it is a random chance. Now, let's start first and foremost talking about the crystal gem converter. There's 2 ways to actually obtain crystal gem converters, which are going to be obviously from this, crafting it right here for Sunder Charge Crystal for 145 and 10 Primal Gem Shards to get 1 of these, or what is it, like buying it from the store in the gem section. You can just see it right here for 15,000 QA or 1500 credits. Now, let me just go over first of all over this price. The crystal gem converter for 15,000 QA 1500 credit is too high from both of them. I actually was just checking out the math behind it, and in order to actually get 1 crystal gem converter without patron status, you need like around 50, like how much is it, 15-18 dailies, give or take, from 15 to 18 dailies just to get 1. To get 1, you need to grind at least a daily every single day for half a month. As a little bit too much, I will say, considering that this resource only purpose is to level up a gem from level 25 stellar to level 25 crystal with same stat and everything. That's it. It doesn't serve any other purpose than just doing that. So the majority of players, what they're going to end up doing is, if they just get like, let's just say if they don't get, or if they get like a really good stellar and power gem, then they can just use those later down the line. Like, it makes no sense because it's literally just used for one thing. So this what tells me right now at the current price is like it is only used for empowered gems, essentially, or fully augmented gems, of course. But at the very least, it is only used mainly for empowered gems, considering that empowered gems are this disgusting crap that you see right here in terms of like crafting. Then obviously the empowered gems is the only way to go to actually just get this. So even still, even if you do get 4, let me just tell you, this is for 4, and if you don't have any qubits, you still have to wait essentially 2 months to get enough qubits for the crystal gem converter if you don't have patron. If you have patron, that is essentially once a week. It's still once a week for an item that you're going to end up using once. Mind you, considering the amount of importance gem boosters are going to be to level up set crystal gems, you're going to end up using your qubits also for gem booster boxes. For those who don't have all of the dragons, they end up using qubits for dragon coins, or the dragon eggs, or the dragon coin tome, or heck, then some of the important things, like I just mentioned again, some of the important things in regards to Uber 11 is that you need martial or an arcane emblem in order to actually, martial or arcane, in order to actually just do somewhat efficiently. And what do they cost? You know, chromatic, trail, death defying for the people that actually use it. You know, that's asking way too much for set players. Keep in mind that I need to remind you that this is only used for one thing only, Gem boosters are going to be multi-uses because you can actually get empowered gem boxes. You can get class gem key like the golden, not class gem key, like golden key fragments or golden keys, golden gem keys, which are definitely used to get more of the rare drops. Obviously the gem boosters, of course, with dragon coins, like I just mentioned. Used for obviously just getting some of the dragons, which there are four new dragons in this update, so these are going to end up being used more. And obviously, like I just mentioned, with flask and emblems, which are going to be used all the time. In my own personal opinion, like you said 5k, I say 3,000. 3,000 should be like the, in my eyes, like the best area, or yeah, around 3,000, because that is, with Patreon, that is pretty much almost once a day. And without Patreon, that's once every 3 days, which then again, if you want all 4 Empower Gems, that's still almost half a month for 4 Empower Gems, which is still quite a bit. So I will probably say 3,000 is the best area in terms of Crystal Gem Converters for Qubit. For credits, 1,500 is... okay, 1,500 credits. That's around $10. 10 US dollars. I don't need to remind you that this is only used for one thing only. And I also don't need to remind anyone the prices on credits. Credit prices are ridiculously high, to say the least, in terms of credit pouches. So essentially, if you're going to buy for current PC prices, and PC prices, let's just say they increase because they will, with Crystal Gem Converter is 6 credit pouches. Let's just say each credit pouch is 2 million, which is probably going to end up costing more than 2 mil after this update, just letting you know. That is 2 million flux per credit pouches. Multiply that by 6, that's 12 million flux for 1 Crystal Gem Converter. Would you spend 12 million flux for those? Or heck, if you're going to transform all of your 4 Empower Gems, would you spend 48 million flux for all 4 Empower Gems? You know, that is with credit pouch at 2 million a pop, which is going to be a good possibility that that would be the case. So would you spend 12 million flux for one of these? And heck, even if you're playing on console, like on console, that would be... How much it would be? Since it will just increase, let's just plop it down like around 800 a pop. Like 800k a pop, because the credit pouches are going to definitely go up, because the amount of credits that you do need for this 3 store packs. So let's just say 800k a pop. 800k, multiply that by 6. 8 times 6 is... I actually forgot. 48, right? Is it 48? Yeah, it's 48. So that's 4.8 mil. At 800k a pop. For one of these. Either do that, or do dailies for half a month. If you don't have Patreon, or if you have Patreon, do dailies for a week. For one. I don't need to remind anyone that this needs to be toned down, like the Crystal Gem Converters. And don't get me started with this. Sundercharged Crystal are not easy to come by. They are gotten from Once you do defeat a 5-star objective and you defeat the boss and you open the chest, which actually costs one of these keys, which mind you, one of these keys costs one Thunder Charge Crystal, and you can actually get only one Thunder Charge Crystal from one of these keys, so essentially you trade 1 for 1. And you need 145 for one of these. I don't need to remind you how dumb this sounds, and not to mention the Primal Gem Shards, which is 120 of each of the Gem Sparks. And we already know, regarding all of the nerf that they did with the Gem Spark, how much do you actually get? You can actually just see that this is no. Straight on no. In my own personal opinion, just cut down 1 digit of each. 1 Primal Gem Shard, 14 of this Undercharge, or 15. It still would be quite a lot. Heck, even 10 and 1 would still be kind of disgusting, because there's on the Charge Crystal, it is used for so many things, it's not even funny. So, yeah. I had to keep in mind that this item is only used for one thing only, and you can get it with qubits or credits. What would be the point in you crafting this? Is just a beginner's trap, and that is just annoying. Anyways, that pretty much just covers all of my opinions on the Crystal Gem conversion. I've already been talking about it multiple times. This has not been changed even throughout the first week. Hopefully it gets changed later on. There's plenty of people complaining in regards to everything on this update, especially in the Crystal Gem side of things. This actually does not help out. So hopefully this gets changed. Now, let's move on to the Crystal Gems and the recent nerf that they received in terms of like the amount of Gem Sparks that you actually do get. Gem Sparks, for those who may or may not know, are going to be these items that you do see right here. The way that you obtain the Gem Sparks is 3 ways. You either get them somewhat uncommonly from the gem boxes of that respective color. So if you open up, you know, an Uber 11 gem box like this one, it has a chance of actually granting one of the 3. I didn't get any. And, you know, it has a chance of actually granting you one of the 3 gem colors from a prime world, or if you open a water, fire, air, or the Uber 11 gem box, it has a chance of actually granting you a gem spark of that color. And that's one way. The other way, obviously, is crafting it. Pretty easy. Crafting it for 35,000 gem dust, which is dumb and ridiculous, but you get so many gem dust anyways. Which, I don't know, it could be hit or miss depending on the person that you do has. In my own personal opinion, it's a little bit too much for only one. Or the other way is just loot collecting crystal gems. Loot collecting crystal gems will give you gem sparks, and that's it. It doesn't grant you any gem dust. And loot collecting empowered crystal gems, it doesn't grant you empowered gem fragments, which is weird. I don't know why they still have not fixed that, but they, you know, that's a thing to keep a note of. Now, the recent nerf that it has been happening is going to be in regards to all the amount of gem spark that you actually do get when loot collecting the gems. Before, when it came out, the amount of gem sparks that you used to get, you used to get 1 starting at level 1, you will get 2 starting at level 6, you will get 4 starting at level 11, you will get 8 starting at level 16, you will get 16 starting at level 21, and then I do believe at 26 it was, no, yeah, 26 it was 32, and then onwards I do believe it remained 32 up until the maximum level 30. So I do believe that was the amount of gem spark that you used to get when it came out. Then the first nerf came around, which still is what it is almost to this point. So now you get 1 gem sparks from level 1 upwards of level 14. You will start getting 2 gem sparks at level 15, and you will get 4 gem sparks starting at level 25. And then onwards, you're going to get more. Like, I do believe it used to be like at 26 to 29, you used to get 8. And then at 30, you will be getting, or it was like from level 25 to 29, you used to get like 4. And then 30, you used to get 20 for some reason. It was something along those lines. And then they just made a recent update where they increase the amount of gem dust that you actually do get at level 25 onwards. Which let's see if I actually do have it right here. Yes. So now it's going to be like this. At level 25, it's still going to be 4. As you can tell right here, is still 4. Right? Correct. So it's still 4 at level 25, which is brutal to think about. So it means that at levels 1 to 14 is still 1, 15 to 24 is still 2 gem sparks only for loot collecting, which is ridiculous. But at level 25 you get 4. Level 26 you get 24. Level 27 you get 65. Level 28 you get 88. Level 29 you get 106. And level 30 you get 185. That is a huge increase, but it only happens once you do reach level 25. And I don't need to remind you how difficult it is to get to level 25. Getting a gem to level 25 is the same as getting a gem to level 25 stellar. A stellar gem at level 25. So past level 23, you're going to start seeing like a huge, like you're literally going to see like your gems not getting like barely any upgrade. Like it's ridiculous. Like let's see if I have a level 16. Like I got a 24 gem right here, but I don't have a lot of gem dust. And I crash checking my gems, of course, because it is true. Hashtag Trove, you check your gems and you crash. Gee. So let's go like this. Let's go here. What gem? Like I got a cosmic level 23. Let's see if I don't fail one, which, well, let's see if I don't make it the first try. But I got 43,000 cosmic gem dust. I need 1,000 for one upgrade. If I miss without booster, look at the amount of progress that I made. Barely. You're going to keep doing like this. And then from level 25 is the same thing. You can easily see your gem dust just essentially just disappearing, because that's how difficult it's going to be without gem boosters. And then again, gem boosters, I don't need to mention that gem boosters are only gotten from gem booster boxes, which require qubits. And then again, if you're going to end up using qubits for the overpriced, what is it, like the overpriced crystal gem converters. But the only way to get gem booster is going to be from some of the contest, which is not even from the character contest, mind you. You get them from contests like this one, like the Infinium contest, and you're going to end up getting these three these gem boosters right here. That's it. That's it. So yeah, you get the point. Also, by the way, I just noticed, do they really want you? I just noticed about this. Do they really want you to get 125 Paragon levels in a week? Why is this so ridiculous? Do they want you to get 125 score of 125 plus just to get this reward to get all of the rewards? I don't know about you guys, but getting 125 Paragon levels is not easy. Because obviously I only got 4 Paragon levels. Obviously rank 44, that doesn't mean anything because I need 75 to get Empower Gem boxes and 125 to get more Bound Brilliance and just potentially getting any other resources like this one. That's just ridiculous. And then they want you to do the same thing but with a character. So they want you to get 125 levels, Paragon levels on one character just to get one Primal Loop, Dark Chaos Bolt, Class Gen Key Fragments, and Bound Brilliance and Power Gem boxes. My god. Jesus Christ, man. If it were the rank for the leaderboards, then I would be able to get the rewards on this too. Which I'm rank 44. This, like, you can actually just see it right here. Rank 250, that's when you actually start getting all of these. Score 125.75, so it means that it wants you to get this score at these points to actually get the rewards. That's how it works. It's the same thing with the effort. It wants you to get to 125 so you can actually start getting all of the rest of the rewards. That's how it works. Trust me, I know. That's how the leaderboard works. Because if it were top 125 people, I would have these two highlighted because I'm rank 44. So yes. Oh Jesus Christ, man. You can easily just tell by this. It says score means by this, rank means by this. That's how leaderboards work. That's the reason why a lot of people don't do the geo, the grabbing the eggs, because the eggs leaderboard, it wants you to grab 50 eggs inside the geo case so you can actually just get into the leaderboard, because that's what the score it will tell you that you need in order to actually get all the rewards. That's why no one does it. Like barely anyone does it. It's like so dumb. How's Neo Ninja? I don't know. I'm not going to say how is any character because it's too early to tell. And yeah, but for Uber 10, obviously, Uber 10, ridiculously fast. Like that is old news, but for Uber 11, we don't know. Especially now that Geo topside enemies are dealing, they have less HP than enemies outside of Geo topside. So yeah, there's so many things. It's so odd. Everything is still subject to change. But yeah, I actually just noticed about this, like, devs, please, would be nice to look into this. Yeah, would be great. I don't know why in the hell did they want us to get. Okay, anyways, let's move on. Let us continue. I was talking about the crystal gems. You already know how difficult it is already to get a gem to level 25 without gem boosters, which is absolutely annoying. And it essentially means that, oh yeah, just level up a gem to level 15 so you can get 2 2 cosmic gem sparks. I do believe who was it? It was Abby. Let me just go into the Discord. That crunched down the numbers. How much time would it actually take you to actually get all of that? Hey Shay, still way up here. It's like, it's such a ridiculous amount of time that you do need. It's so ridiculous, like, it's not even funny. Where is it? So many people just talking. That's so... That's so ridiculous, man. Where you at? There's so many BS right here. To actually just get an upgrade to like level 30. Is ridiculous. If do you want to attempt a level, look at this. Do you want to attempt a level 30 gem upgrade for 2.5 million, almost 2.6 million fire dust, 100,000 of each of the other dust, and probably using like a couple of ninth life in that aspect? Like, it's so ridiculous. So look at this. 1 year to get all to get the gems for one class to level 30 if you farm gem boxes for 3 hours a day at 300 dungeons per hour in the entire time. 3 hours a day for an entire year at 300 dungeons per hour just to get one class to level 30 on all of your gems. This is what someone said. Window, which, let me just read out everything right here. If you were to farm 8 hours per day every day of the week at a speed of 300 gem boxes per hour with Patreon, it would take you 3 years to get crystal gems on all classes to level 30. And if you had enough ninth life to go along with all of those gems. Or let's just say you set yourself to farm 1000 gem boxes every single day, which is a bit over 3 hours of farming and 300 boxes per hour. It would just take you under 9 years to get all of your crystal gems to level 30 and 18 years if you don't open boxes with Patreon. That sounds disgusting. Because the thing is, the problem is they look at how I look at this. Like, the interesting thing about the gems is that they make crystal gems, essentially stellar gems with 5 more difficult levels. Most of the games, when they usually just most of the gems, when they just decide, like, not the gem, most of the games in terms of the progression, when they decide to up the progression, they usually just make the earlier portions much easier so that the end game feels almost exactly the same thing as it used to be. No, Trove is like, nope, screw you. Oh, so you thought that level 25 gems were difficult? That we're going to up that by like 100 times. Have fun. Instead of just making the level 30 crystal gem the new level 25, and just making the gems, the levels prior to that one easier, similar to that, like pretty much just essentially just make like level 20 the new level 15, level 25 the new level 20, yada yada yada. They essentially, what they made is they essentially just, after level 23 is the same as stellar gems as being super difficult, and it gradually becomes more and more difficult up until the point that it just becomes ridiculously difficult. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking with that, honestly. I don't need to remind you that crystal gems are rare drops. So you're only going to get a handful of them per karma bar. Like, for example, it will take, what is it? Like, it will take you how should I put this? Like, it's going to take you a little bit, 70 boxes. It will take you 70 boxes to get a guaranteed crystal gem. And you use that one guaranteed crystal gem to level up to level 15 to get 2 gem sparks. 70 gem boxes in Uber 11, which is tougher, which is pretty tough, is going to definitely be like, you see what I mean? It's like so backwards, so many backwards things. It's like Uber 11 is much more difficult, and it's going to take you longer to actually get the gem boxes, and you still need 70 of them if you don't have Patron. And once you do get that one crystal gem, which is a rare drop from those gem boxes, is, you know, it's going to be like, oh, okay, there you go. Have fun with 2 gem sparks. Now you need a whole lot more. And let's just say you need 15 more of these just for one attempt of one upgrade, level 29 to 30. That sounds so wrong. That really sounds so wrong. Like, if it were, like, let's just say guaranteed levels, or not even guaranteed levels, but more so super easy level. Even if you do fail, you at least cover like 25% of the gem. Then, oh yeah, sure, it warrants the amount of resources and time that it takes to actually get one, and everything just feels much more worth it, I guess. But the thing is, it's just that it doesn't feel worth it. Like, you have to spend so much for nothing. And the fact of the matter the fact of the matter is like, if you fail, it's not like you're making a lot of progression. Like you're seeing right there, I failed twice and I barely made any progress. Here, failed once and barely made any progress. Here, failed 4 times, barely made any progress. And it's going to keep gradually increasing depending on how many levels you get. Like a level 25 only costs 1. At level 26, I don't have a level 26 gem. Jeez. Level 26 is 3, by the way. Then level 27 is 9, and then once you do reach level 28, it's 21, and then a prime. And 29 is even further. This is for level 29. From level 29 to 30 is even more. And the thing is, the chances are even less and less and less, to the point that using 9th life is woof. So it's going to definitely hurt you like crazy. You pulled a Ganda 80 master yesterday on PC. I'm happy though, because I'm fully switching to PC because I was only 370 on console. Nice. And you got a good old-fashioned Ganda. Did you sell it or did you use it? But yeah, you essentially get the reasons why everyone's keep complaining over this update. It's not so much because of Uber 11 difficulty. It's not so much because of the new biomes and the crafting, even though the crafting are absolutely disgusting. And definitely not the new class. And yeah. You used it for mastering farming. Oof. I mean, for mastering it won't be the case, but for farming, I guess. But yeah. But yeah, you essentially just get the point. But yeah, the only problems right now that I have is Uber 11 might feel a little bit difficult for some people. I will admit that, yes. And considering that the amount of light that we did get is not a whole lot, so we are not going to see a whole lot of difference in light. But you know, again, I'm not going to say which of the two it should go for. But I feel like at the very least, out of the two, the enemies in Geotoss, I feel like you can just defeat them much quicker. And it's not going to make some of the abilities just useless, especially like the slower ability that do higher damage. Right now, those abilities are going to feel much useless. So I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know which of the two just let me know which of the two would you even like to see in terms of the enemies. Would you like the enemies to be as strong as they are in pretty much every single world? Curse Skyland and I crash. God damn it, Trove. Jesus. Would you like the enemies to be more in line to the enemies that you do see in the Prime or any other world, essentially? Dude, it always feels weird whenever you get a new controller. Like I feel super bad because I feel that I had to be much more delicate with it. It's like, oh, a new controller, I don't want to break it. And I feel super weird. I could be using the other controller. The other controller still works fine. But yeah, that new controller feeling, I guess. And this one is like super light. But anyways, going back into what I was saying, like do you prefer the enemies to be like this one in terms of like how much do they take? That was without Marshall, by the way. Versus enemy in Geotop side, which is definitely for sure should take slightly less time to kill. Come here, you. Out of there. Come here. Over here. Come here. But yeah, you can actually just tell the difference. 5 bursts versus, I do believe, was 9 bursts of shots. So which of the two would you even prefer? Would that be too easy? And you're completely fine to what it is right now inside, you know, in the Prime world? Or would you like, I better this one? For me personally, like both of them are good enough. I would be fine either way, but here comes the but, so pretty much everything that I said before is invalid. But I will feel like the one in Geotasai feels better. For the only one reason being is, like I just mentioned, slower abilities or slower attacking characters. Slower attacking characters who relied on their one-shots a little bit more, or rely on their high damaging abilities. I don't know. They're definitely going to struggle a little bit more. Luckily, most of the characters nowadays uses a lot of basic attack. If not, they have really good DPS in other abilities. But yeah, usually characters that don't have the best abilities are going to definitely struggle a whole lot. So I don't know. I do feel the one inside Geotopside, the enemies inside Geotopside. And then again, like my stats aren't bad. I need to remind everyone, like the stats on my Shadow Hunter are not bad. Even a 38 is not, obviously it's not 40 or something, but my stats aren't bad. The only thing that is pretty low is my light. But my stats are pretty good. You know, 466.3 physical and 2449 in the crit damage department. So it's pretty good. So I don't know how it's going to end up feeling for the average player. So I'm pretty sure like lowering a little bit to what it is right here in Geotosai to everyone else, I feel it would be better out of the two. So that pretty much most of the players can actually just transition directly from Uber 10 to Uber 11 in a similar way to how they transition from Uber 9 to Uber 10. Because it's like, how I look at it is going to be like, a lot of people are going to hit a wall immediately. They're going to just immediately just hit a wall. Once they do reach a certain point where they can just, oh yeah, I can somewhat do U10. You know, I just got to 30,000 power rank. Because, by the way, you need 30,000 power rank to enter Uber 11 now. It's no longer 20k, so you need 30,000 power rank. And there's no easy way to actually just upgrade your power rank for a newer player, so 30,000 power rank is still just as difficult. By the way, just as a little heads up. So 30,000 power rank is still just as difficult as it used to be before. So I don't know. Okay, they really need to tone it down a little bit. Like, I do believe that they should just keep it to what it is on Geotopside. Because as a 30,000 power ring with proper light values, you can actually do this. You can actually just complete certain dungeons. Struggle, but you can complete them. Which is, again, the same transition that you go from U10 from U9 to U10 in on the first time. So I feel they should make the enemy. I got counter. Woohoo! Ah, Jesus. Like the important thing that I definitely notice is you need highlight for sure. You need highlight. You don't mind the difficulty, like even with C4 equipment. Even with C4 equipment, like it's not like you're going to murk literally anything and everything with C4 equipment, like with the current Geo topside enemies. Just saying, but definitely for sure. Making it more like this, I feel is going to be better, because not everyone is just going to. Not everyone's just going to speed through this. Everyone's going to struggle, even if they just made the enemies like this one, like what they are in Geo topside. Guess I'll just make sure to write it down for a report. Maybe so they can just tone down the enemies. Because this is a thing that I noticed with this update. They are trying to just make the update only for endgame. It's like for the current people that are in the endgame, that's what they are doing it for. They're doing this update for those people. People like myself, for example. People that already have fully augmented gems. Like, I feel that's what they're trying to do with this update, and they're just making it seem like it is a transition for... Jesus Christ, man. Webcam do be glitchy. They are making it more of an actual transition for us, the end game, but they're not making a transition for the game in general, which is why I feel they essentially just made not only the enemy super tough, but also the grinding super, like the amount of resources to get everything super high. They essentially just made that for us, the end game. Like, this is a thing that I just kept mentioning. Well, no, I kept mentioning, but I was just thinking about it. Like, if you're running around, if you make, let's just say the crystal gem converted 3,000 qubits each, the endgame player that's going to make little to no difference for the endgame player that is maxed out, because the endgame player, even if you put it at 3 or 15,000, the endgame player is going to get that either way day one, because they, like most of the players that are just at the endgame, have at the very least well over 180,000 qubits, which is what you need for every single gem right now. So at that point, what would be the point in just making it so expensive so that the newer player or the average player is not going to get anything? For us it's easy, but for them it's not, which pretty much just is the reason why I don't think it was just a good pricing for those. And then if we take into account like the crystal gem, and they're making the gems as difficult as they are right now, you know, is definitely something to keep a note of, because they are putting the gems super difficult to upgrade thinking that everyone is running around with 109th life every single time. Yes, like someone like me, I have like 159th life, give or take, which I can easily upgrade all of my gems from my main, but that really doesn't change anything, or like that doesn't change anything for me, but it changes so much for everyone else. See what I mean? Now you're getting where where essentially I'm coming from. Is pretty poorly balanced. Pretty poorly balanced for everyone else that is not an end game. That's why some people I've heard, they are like perfectly fine with the current prices on gems. It's like, oh yes, but yes, it means that that is something that we've been doing for a while. Sure, but the point is like you want people. You want, like, the point is that you want other players to play the game, not you only to play the game. The point is like you want to motivate all of every single player to play the game, not satisfy like the few people that it's not going to affect either way. Even if you put it like low price or high price. Like I should know. I got my PC account, which I got it from pretty much for nothing, and I do have my Xbox account. I can just tell you from both perspectives that that's how most of the thing is on this game. Like a lot of things I'm like, oh yeah, this was easy. Like for example, the Vacuumatic when it launched. The Vacuumatic when it launched, I just got it maxed out in literally an instant when the Delve update came out because I already had all of the resources. But if you don't have all of those resources from day one, like imagine how much it will take you to actually just upgrade that module to level 10. I feel it's the same thing right here. I just kill this. So yeah. What the hell happened to the volume of the music? Oh, the song just went really low. Okay, I'll just keep it that way. Who cares? The point isn't not the point is the music. The point is this stream. But thank God that this is not. There's no release date for this update to come out on the live server because it's far from being perfect, but they should not ignore the actual glaring issue that it is in front of them. Rather than just patching some little things here and there, they should really just look at things more carefully in this update. Like I just mentioned so many times, this update is super important for this game. I know every single update is important for this game, but this is this more than most of the updates is super important for this game. If they drop the ball with this update, Trove reputation is just going to end up plummeting even further down. And that's plain and simple how it is. Trove's reputation is already pretty down, so I'm not saying that it's you know, high spirits or whatever, but the reputation definitely is going to plummet even further down just for one little thing. This update is super important in regards to, hey, this is an update in progression that we haven't gotten in literal years. The last big progression update was back in late 2018. So you know, they really for sure really need this update to do well, because otherwise Trove is going to have a tough time to recovering from this. More so than what they did with Shadow Spotlight, more so than what they did with all of the mediocre update, let's just say. That's plain and simple how it is. How they still limit new players to having good empowered gens. Yeah, I really... still to this day, they limit empowered gens, and they just make them even worse with Crystal. It's like, what the hell is going on, man? I've said this like a while back, but I guess it is... I mean, it's not so much of a great idea now at this point. It was just adding Crystal... Not Crystal, like Radiant Empowered Gems as rare draws from gem boxes. But that was just way before, way before. Like, way before Crystal rarity was even a thing in this game. Just so that people could just farm Empowered Gems. Either that or remove goddamn 2-star. I don't know why that's still a thing. Please, just remove 2-star Empowered Gems, for crying out loud. They serve literally no purpose and they're just there to troll you. Considering how disgusting it is to get Crystal Gem, imagine getting a Crystal 2-star. I should know because I got 2 of them. While opening Empowered class gems for my knight. So yeah, hey. Still subject to change. I'm still optimistic, obviously. But I don't like the fact that they took so... They're not taking the... You know, the Empowered Gems... Not the Empowered Gem situation, the Genspar situation much more seriously. Even while people putting out actual factual numbers, like... They don't think for like 2 seconds, damn, that sounds like ridiculous. You know, that sounds like a lot. Let's just tone it down. Like, no one was complaining when it was the 16 gem sparks. No one. No one told them, oh yeah, you know what would be a great idea? Just to lower them because it's too easy. Like, no one said that, trust me. Everyone was saying in regards to... Let's see, anything? Crystal ones are still so bad. Everyone was saying, you know, the cost on crafting them is just ridiculous. Like, I would understand the fact that, oh yeah, level 21 you get 16 of them, 16 gem sparks. I would understand that being an issue for crafting, I guess, but at the same time, you need so much to upgrade, especially if you don't have gem boosters. Like, I would understand if just upgrading the gems were easy. Or if the craftings that require the gem sparks that uses like the prime shard. I would understand if that's, you know, if that's not used a whole lot, but that is used like crazy. I feel day one on this update, it feels much better than what it is right now on a lot of cases, which is odd. Usually they update stuff to make it better. This one, it feels like they update stuff to make it worse. They add in some really good stuff in terms of the quality of life stuff, like what they did with the Leviathan badge, essentially just granting you the you know, the all of the, actually blanked out, I forgot. I just saw a little bit towards the side, and by the way, no idea when it's going to drop. Please, if I know, I will let you know. But yeah, the Leviathan badge, the extra quality of life update on like, what is it, like the loot collector, like the regenerator stuff. All of those things are good. Those are good things, but whenever they just decide to do something on the crystal gem, it feels like they are making it worse. Obviously, it was not perfect because the upgrading the gem was bad in the first place, so that they didn't make it better per se. So do we? Yeah, it works retroactively. You are going to get it immediately in the claims if you already got the badge. So if you complete the badge, it will just be in the claims menu immediately. Oh, the price engines. Yeah, that is true. Very, very true. That is very, very true. The amount of gem dust that you do get is... it's really, really ridiculous. Because stellar gems, you get so many of them. So good, so good. And it's not even the 500, it's the 250. Damn, what is this spawn? This one is so bad. The hell? I already told you, I don't know. Like, I don't know when it's going to come out. We haven't gotten any release date. Yeah, by the way, if you haven't noticed, I can actually move my camera and jump. I'm still getting used to this on controller. Obviously, because the new controller now having two paths on the back of it, now I can actually just jump and move the camera while moving forward without having to play claw like a disgusting human. Nothing against anyone who plays claw, by the way. But yeah, I guess, like, my fingers are just so long. It just feels so uncomfortable for me to actually just play claw. I'm still getting, like, somewhat used to, like, jumping or moving the camera, or jumping, like, in the back button instead of, like, the actual A button. I still sometimes jump in the A button because that's how used to I am. Oh yeah, and I can also like dodge because the other button is the B button or the dodge button. Super interesting. But yeah, again, all of this is subject to change. All of this is on the test server. All of this will hopefully gets changed. Hopefully they take feedback seriously this time around instead of just trying to ignore and just be like, nope, this is what we want. Complain as many as you want, Dad. Nope. That's not how it is. Like, I hope they take this update seriously. This update could very well be a turning point on this game. You do it correctly, people will join, people will play, people will stick around. The game will grow more in popularity. You will get more money because people are just they're going to be more player. Obviously, more players. More players, more money, more bond, more whatever. More units, whatever you want to call it. If you pull it off correctly, you're going to generate hype. You're going to make people just play the game more. So hopefully they take it slowly. So yeah, yeah, don't rush it. Don't be like, don't throw this update just immediately. Just take it slowly and just listen to the feedback, which also includes to everyone out there. Like, if you want this to change, throw feedback at them. Don't be too rude, and just make sure to throw the feedback at them and just make them know. Only C2s. You. Only C1s and C2s. Still don't know why the crystal ones are not unlocked by default, but yeah, whatever. This is Uber 11 and we don't know when the update is going to come out on Xbox. We don't know when the update is going to come out on PC, let alone Xbox. Is this a PTS? Yes, it's the test server. Yeah. It'll most likely come 2 weeks to a month. I would probably say yes. I've been saying like around a month. I would say around a month. I've been saying, yeah, around a month. It would come out on console after it is on PC. That's just my assumption, but we don't know. I don't think that it's going to take like 3-4 months like some people have been saying. No, it's only going to take like around a month. Yeah, that's just how it is. That's the struggle of being a console player. Struggle of being a console player. Get like 2 updates a year, and those 2 updates usually are like the 2 major updates with a bunch of the minor updates. It seems to be like that pretty much over the past like 2 years or 2 or 3 years or so. They usually just drop in like like 2 updates per year, and the 2 updates are the 2 major updates, because there's only 2 major updates or major expansion updates per year on Trove. Obviously this is the first one, Sunrise. So yeah, they usually, when they are finished with a big update, that's when they drop that on console. Because last year we only got 2 updates, of course. 3 if you count Deep Dragon, but Deep Dragon was when they used to just drop in like updates on both, on every platform, more or less. But ever since the last year, it's been like this. 2 updates per year on console. Which happened after the Dragon. It happened with the tune-up update and the Paragon update, which both of them dropped on the same year. Those were the only 2 updates technically that we got aside from the Dragons. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Switch's only been here for a year. And all of you have still plenty of stuff to do. Xbox and PlayStation has been here for 5 years. 5.5 years, so... most of the stuff that you already, all of you are missing, we already have it. That's how it is. You know. And I crash. Bruh. God damn it, Trove. How much you crash? Especially the test server crashed so much for me. Ow. But yeah, I'm just grinding. Just doing some grinding right here because I already discussed most of the things that I just wanted to talk about. Obviously, if you want to add in more to the discussion, of course, you can add it in. But most of the thing I just add in here and here. You already know most of the things that how I feel. They are good idea. Like this, right now this update feels like most of the, like what it was on the Paragon update. Like a lot of you, when the Paragon update dropped, it was just absolutely horrible. But they slowly just made it better to what it is right now, which it's not amazing, but it's much better than it was, I guess. Look at the amount of world bosses. Look at the amount of arrows everywhere. I guess this is how YouTube feels like with the amount of red arrows on the thumbnails. Just fire, I guess. Welcome to YouTube with the amount of red arrows everywhere. Yes, of course. Yeah, the Paragon update has been done much better, but before it was just absolutely horrible. You barely got any EXP. Like, literally the best way to get levels, it was on Uber 8 or Uber 9. And you would get a level like every hour double EXP. It was GG. So they had to up the EXP rates on Dells. They had to up the rewards that you used to get whenever you hit a prime. Because you used to get like nothing, like barely anything. They never lowered the EXP though. The EXP is still the same. It is alright, I guess. Considering the amount of EXP that you do get right now, it's alright. Still kind of disgusting. Almost 3 mil, but... at the very least, like, the rewards... from what I noted, like, the rewards have been just upped much better. Especially with Paragon pins, where you can actually sell them to other players and get a lot of flux from it. And... or if you can do, if you want to throw them yourself and you get so many prime loops, and the prime loops aren't as bad as they used to. They're still kind of bad, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going to say that they are not bad, but they're still pretty bad, but they are not horrible. And especially now also with Crystal Gem boxes being tradable, because they weren't tradable. Crystal Gem were not tradable. Crystal Gem, I mean Crystal Rings. That was another thing. They just made them tradable later. Right now the Paragon update is much better than it used to be, so hopefully they take the same step in the right direction with this update. Maybe rethink some of the things that they have done thus far with the gem sparks, lowering the amount, making the crystal gem upgrade much easier, so that you don't have to just only strictly use 9th life to level up gems past level 27, or heck, even past level 25. What is it like? So that's a thing. Maybe tone down some of the crafting recipe. Like, ah, damn, dude. I don't know how many people are not even talking about, like, why are not talking about it. That's how bad the crystal gem issue is, that people are not even talking about the issue with the crafting recipes, even though a lot of people have been talking about it, but not a whole lot. Now some are talking about it, but before it was only strictly only on the crystal gems, and it goes to show how bad it is that they're totally ignoring the crafting recipes on some of the items. It's crazy to think about it. I still also don't know how, still to this point, it has not been fixed with like the Uber 11 boxes not dropping consistently. Now that makes absolutely no sense. Any C4? Nope, just nothing but C1 or C3. I got 2 C3 right here. Nice. I don't know. Might seem like I'm complaining a whole lot. But I'm just stating most of the things that most people are saying. And keep in mind, this is coming from someone who, even if they drop in the update the way that it is right now, I pretty much can almost fully maxed out a character like my knight with the amount of resources that I have. So for me, it shouldn't be an issue, but you know, that's definitely not a good thing. Speaking of which, I need to open up my gem boxes. Considering opening all of my stupid 80,000 gem boxes that I have. I don't want to, but I have to. There you are. But yeah, that's... Yeah, and for me personally, like, even if they drop in the update like this, which is what I've been hearing for some people, because it doesn't feel bad for them. They immediately just like, oh yeah, just grind it out. Which is such a backwards thing to say. Such a bad thing to say, honestly. Like, honestly, like, if you think like that, like, come on. Just think of it a little bit more logically. Don't go 100% full selfish on it, just think of it a little bit more logically. Damn, the knockback is so annoying. I don't know why they decide to just change how the knockback feels in this game. No one in their right mind just say, you know what they should do? Change everything related to the knockback. No one was saying like, yeah, you should remove the knockback, but yeah, you know what? Let's just change the knockback so that some of the attacks actually just send you flying. You know why they did that? Actually? Which actually I learned that in the latest developer livestream. The reason they did that is because of Bomber Royale. Because there is an enemy, a critter from those critter bombs that you throw down in Bomber Royale Season 3. It actually does a charge attack that does a lot of knockback. So they essentially just changed the knockback so that all of those abilities and bombs actually just, you know, feel much better rather than just having a set knockback what it is right now. Instead of just increasing the knockback on that enemy, no, let's just increase the knockback on everything in this goddamn game. Make the combat feel much more clunky against certain enemies. Yeah, that's essentially, like, that's the mentality on some people. As unfortunate as it is, like, some people really are just selfish. As bluntly as I can put it, they're just selfish. They only think, oh yeah, that's not going to affect me, so who cares? Hey, you do. You need to just take it into account, like I bet those are the same people that complain about credit pouch prices. Oh, oh, the current budget prices, why they keep going up and up and up? Like, it's why the same thing I've been mentioning, like, for example, like the store pack problem. I'm not even going to do the 5-star. Like the store pack problem that I keep mentioning. Oh yeah, you know that there's a problem with the store pack. It keeps causing the credit budget to be higher, which is going to ultimately be a problem later down the line. And people mistook that as, oh yeah, it's getting more, like, it's getting so difficult for me to just maintain those store packs. No, for me, it's just like the issue, it is not for me, it's for everyone else. Like, I don't have a problem with with credit budgets just being at the prices that they are, because you can get the amount of flux, but I cannot say the same thing with everyone else. Like, heck, even today, not even today, this week I bought, just for the heck of it, I bought 10,000 credits. Not only got the store pack, got a patron, but also got the Golden Dragon effigy. So I have one effigy just saved up. And I'm still sitting at over 50 million flux, and it's not that big of a deal. But I cannot say the same thing with everyone else. Not everyone else can just be, oh yeah, I'm going to buy an effigy just for the heck of it. And most of the thing I just say is just, I want this game just to be better. That's it. I've already seen the end game. What is it like? No. How many flux did it cost? I don't know. I don't know. It was 10 and 10,500 credits. Probably like 25 mil, I don't know. It was something along those lines. I don't remember how much I did. Yeah, because the effigy was like 18, give or take, like yeah, around 18 mil. The store pack was 3,000, so that is how much it was. That was like close to 5, yeah, pretty much give or take around 25 mil for everything. But anyways, but yeah, my mentality comes like this. I've already seen the end game. I've already just gotten to the last portion of the game. I've already been maxed out. Why is everyone getting punished just because I already reached maxed out? Update should not be for me, it should be for everyone. I want everyone to enjoy it, or just see the same things, or get the same journey that I did over the past couple of years. Because people like us that are already in the end game, we've seen everything. We've already got to this point. We're going to keep playing, and pretty much everything that we do extra is profit, essentially. We're not using flux, or we're not using resources for anything, because we don't need anything. And every time that we do play, we're getting more and more and more. So it's natural that we are going to be just over prepared for everything. So rather than just trying to counteract the over prepared people, just focus on just making the other people just get to that point. It's plain and simple how it is. This is just plain and simple how it is. There's no other way for me to put it. That's also on some of the reasons why I keep playing the game. I just prepare myself for future updates. So whenever the update comes out, I can just get everything, so I can just show everyone how to get it. Dude, it feels so weird being able to jump, move the camera. It feels so weird. It feels super weird. Like, it really does feel weird to being able to do all of this. Like this. Like, I wasn't able to do that. Because I, normally, how I used to play, like, probably anyone had not noticed, I used to only move my camera as soon as I jump, not while I was jumping. This is while I'm jumping. This is what I used to do before. There's a pretty big difference right there. But it's so weird. Like, it feels so weird. My aim feels so bad. It's so bad. Like, my aim, it feels really, really bad because I'm just not used to all of this. Like, my brain is like, what the hell are you doing? Oh, anyways. I don't know for how long I will be doing another stream, keep doing this live stream, just letting everyone know. Just as a little fun fact, I didn't want to talk about it because who cares? But yesterday, like, I was sick yesterday with like a really, really, really horrible headache. Man, you gotta have that time where you just, or like, it wasn't like a full fever, it was just like a really, really bad headache. So obviously I just took it like more slowly yesterday. I'm still somewhat recovering from it. I still feel somewhat of a headache, so it's no big deal. It's not so bad. It's still something that I can possibly power through it, but I'm not going to power through it. I'm just going to still take some medicines and just let that go away. Hopefully there is a patch note today, because there was none yesterday. And obviously, considering the amount of backlash, this surprised me that we haven't seen a bunch of patch notes, like a patch note every single day. considering the amount of backlash. Oh, another C3, nice. Noticing quite a lot of C3s lately. I still don't like. Please make crystal level 1 auto unlock. Please, thank you. Would be greatly appreciated, because stellar you can. Stellars are auto unlock right now. Making same thing with crystal ones would be so good for dungeon farming and topside. Yeah, Paragon Pin. Maybe depending on how often do you actually get C3s and C4s doing all of this. If I do get a lot of crystalline cores, I might consider leveling up my crystal level 4 equipment if they don't drop in crystal level 5 in the next expansion. Which is why one of the reasons I'm holding on all of my resources, because I am almost for certain that they're going to draw the Cosmic Primordial Dragon and Crystal level 5 in the next expansion. Like later this year. Like towards the end of the year. Like it's already been on the code at the very least with Crystal 5 in the similar way to how they managed to see what is it, like crystal, yeah, crystal gems. So I won't be surprised if they do it. So that's going to be another headache of an update, because the one thing for sure is people are definitely going to complain because of the prices. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to make it just ridiculously expensive to the point of like, what the hell are you even thinking? That boss just got murked. Oh yeah, that is definitely something. Yeah, whatever, who cares about the world boss? Yeah, I will probably just maybe around 20 more minutes. Sure. Pretty much just discuss most of the important details that I just wanted to go over this live stream. As is obviously this is going to be archived. For sure. So if this gets archived, then obviously for certain I will. I am getting murked. That for sure I will leave this one archive, even if it gets like copyright claim. Which I doubt it. I do believe this one is not getting. All the songs that I'm hearing right now are non-copyrighted. Because last time I decided to use more. Because YouTube copyright system is so weird. There are certain songs that on YouTube it counts as copyright, but I used that same playlist on Twitch and none of them got copyright claim. It was like so odd. It's like when I finished the stream, the last stream that I used different playlist, which is private. The stream that stream was another of those stream that is supposed to be on archive, because the purpose of that stream was just mainly me writing down the whole thing in regards to all of the database on all of the characters, which I'll probably end up doing that today actually. I want to write down everything. I'll probably just do that, watch some videos. Or maybe just grind on my Xbox, who knows. I also want to play Frontier as well. I've been craving some Frontier. So I don't know. All depends on how I end up feeling. But for sure, at that last live stream, I got copyright claimed 17 times. I was like, damn. So much for a non-copyrighted playlist. It's just major bait right there. I was like, yeah, you got copyright claim, copyright claim, copyright claim. Just went into my notification and it said, oh yeah, this got copyright claim, and I saw it 17 times. And I bro, sure. I mean, this is a live stream that no one cares, anyways. So I guess it's the way that it is. I've also have not been working on videos, of course, for the simple reason is obviously I've been just testing. I've been just on the test server. That's the reason I've been just mainly doing live streams, because I've just been testing weird stuff, reporting, grinding like this, just to see if I can get stronger equipment so I can actually just grind out a little bit better, give a little bit of a better perspective on how does Uber 11 work out. So far I've only gotten one crystal level 4, which is unfortunate, but that's definitely something that I've been just working on and doing. So for the most part, I'm just grinding, testing. And yeah, that's essentially what I've been doing for the most part. So yeah, I don't have the time to work on vids. I mean, I could just work on videos, but again, if we're talking about most of the things that I want to talk about nowadays is to the test server, is using the test server. And the Solarium class video did really well, which is a good thing that video is still pretty relevant to this point, because the Solarium barely got any changes. Yeah, I also don't want to drop anything related to, you know, the gems, the crystal gems, and all the prices and the crafting. I'm planning to do a video on how to get all the dragons, that is for sure. I want to do that. Where to actually get all of the dragon fragments. Because I know how to get all the dragon fragments. I got dragon fragments on all the new dragons. At least one of the dragon fragments on all of the new dragons, which is very, very nice. So that might be a video that I might consider doing it, because I don't think that's going to get changed. So be on the lookout on that one. But everything related to like the Uber 11 gems in general, like all of those things are just so subject to change. Like everything's like, I could post a video today and maybe in 2 days it will be just completely irrelevant because they've already patched those, like, so many things on the gems, and I want to hold that one off. I mean, I could do it to catch in views, I guess, but I don't want to because it feels so disingenuous, and it could be so misleading at the same time. Because imagine me just dropping on a video only, like, let's just say that video drops like 1,000 views or something like that. And then if I drop in an updated one and it drops 600 views, that means that 400 people are going to be misinformed or just have an outdated perspective on how do they work or something like that, if you get what I mean. That's why I just prefer to do live streams like this one, so that people, if they just join in, they know immediately when it drops. You can just ask the question. This is how it is, and yeah, and it is much better for me in terms of like my own sanity, because imagine trying to edit out videos 6, 7, 8 hours editing videos every single day. It would be nice if I actually did get a lot of it, like a lot of revenue behind it, but I don't, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spend 7, 8 hours on a video that's going to be outdated in like 2 days. That feels so wrong. But at the very least, with the dragons, there have not been any changes on the dragons, or how to get the dragon fragments. And I feel that's a video that I can just drop it in. Yeah, I think I'll just do this 5-star, and maybe just call it a day for now. Got some medicine. Just for the headache. Maybe just, I don't know. I'll think about doing the dragon video. I think I might do it. And that might be a short recording. I can just record that today and then just edit it over time in like the next 1 or 2 days. Drop it in. Yeah, that might be my next upload actually. Unless something really big comes out, that might be my next upload. All right. Anyways, let's see if I got any crystal level 4. I doubt it, but you know what? It's worth checking out. No, C2. You can tell Stellar's auto unlock. But yeah, also you can tell Like I got the fragments for each of the dragons, so I got pretty good idea how to get them. I'll try to organize them as well. Let's see what I get from gem boxes. Oh, I got two. I got two crystals. What are the power ranks? 653, 588. Not even the highest. Let's see. What kind of rolls do we get? Crit damage. Crit damage. Triple crit damage, and the power rank seems to be on the lower side from what I can tell. Maxwell. Physical. Maximum one of each. Let's see what are the percentages. Actually, I want to familiarize myself with those percentages. Yeah, this one is pretty low. This one is the average. So the average is around 1500. Yeah, it seems to be around that area. 1600 is when it actually starts becoming good. So level 15, in terms of percentages, around 1580 plus. That's when you are going to definitely start seeing high percentages. Like 1530, like 1530 is good averages. So maybe, because I know this one is not the highest. 1560, like not the highest, but 1520. So it's pretty much essentially an extra 300 power and comparable to a stellar. So a stellar is like 1210. So I'm pretty sure this one is 1510. For a decent gem, I guess. Decently good in terms of percentages. Which would make sense. Damn, almost a 700 right there. Okay, I got max out light. Yeah, 1530. It seems to be around that area, I guess. Double crit damage. That's so cringe. Magic damage, double crit damage, high coefficient, but ew. Ew. So let's plot down the two of you. I'm just holding all of these just in case they drop in. You know what? Hold on. I still have stellar gems. I need to get rid of all of them. I still have... Okay, so this one is not bugged out. So let me just drop in all of these. You're max out C3s. Well, not max out, at least fully pearl. I got pirate this radiant right. That is so sad. Hey, How's it going? Join in when the stream is almost over. I'm just finishing up a couple of little things. And just potentially considering just finishing up the streams so very, very soon. Dropping this. I don't know. Where is my chaos chest actually? I actually have 2 unyielding on separate boxes. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I already discussed and just talk about everything that I just wanted to talk about. Like, there's nothing else for me to discuss. So, dropping all of these. Dropping all of this. Nope, no, nothing new. Nothing new. Just speculating that the update will drop alongside this update in particular. So I'm pretty sure Sunrise will come out to PC and maybe within a month it's going to come out on console alongside every update. But that's just my assumption. Dropping these. I'll keep all of these 4 ready up. I'll keep this one, this 2, I'll put them right there, and then towards the end I'll keep this one. So put this. Oh, since we last got an update, it's been 6.5 months, almost 7. Let's see. Yep, that was the last time that we got an update. But yeah, it's the same thing that happened last year. So I'm not 100% too surprised. Last year we had to wait 8 months for an update. This time that it's on the same pace from the looks of it. Okay, so I got this organized. I got all of these just for later down whenever they decide to change all of the things for the crystal gems. I guess I got everything already set up. So yeah, whenever because I'm going to do a video going over how to actually get every single fragment. Yeah, that covers everything. So, alright, let me just stand all the way over here. Losing my voice. Oh well, that happens. I glitched out. But, alright. I'm going to leave it right here. But yeah, if you got more questions, just ask them right now, but I pretty much just cover most of the things regarding everything in this live stream. So there's like, you already know, some of the things that I complain about personally, some of the things that I think are pretty good, some of the things that I think they can improve upon. And yeah, so just to do a quick recap for those who have not been here. The Solarian class, they have not done any changes throughout the whole week. Only like two changes, two very small changes, and just two very small changes and a bug fix. So anything related to the new class, if you're interested, made a whole video about it, discussion. First impressions, my thoughts has not changed ever since that video on that. So the Solarian class, not a lot of changes, which is expected because the class, they nailed the class pretty well first try. You know, there are some things that they could just change, or something that I think is to be like tweaked. For example, like the first ability, Solar Flare, is kind of slow, but oh well. Aside from that, like it fits such a unique niche. It's like the physical damage version of the Chloromancer, essentially, like only good for DPS, only good for bosses. So it is how it is. The new biome, you know, there are some cool things about the new biome, especially with the new 5-star and how the waves work, but the crafting and some of the crafting recipes in that new biome is absolutely ridiculous. They really need to tweak that. So everything related to the biome, obviously, like the enemies are a little bit too strong comparable to everything else, so they need to be toned down slightly. But more specifically, like, enemies are still pretty inconsistent, especially in Uber 11, with, you know, the new with like geotopside comparable to every single world, geotopside enemies feeling much weaker than everything else. So I still feel to this day right now that geotopside enemy should be how it's supposed to work out with Uber 11. Not how it is on the other worlds, because in geotopside it feels like an actual good transition from Uber 10 to Uber 11. In what is it like with the other things, like the other worlds with Uber 11 from Uber 10, it feels like such a huge gap. So I don't think it's just a good thing. So I feel that they should just tone down the enemies to make it feel equal to like that of those enemies in geotopside. And still, the enemies in geotopside are tanky as hell, so I'm not going to say and just, you know, that the enemies in geotopside are just extremely weak, but everything else is extremely strong. It's just the difference is pretty staggering. I did not make a video on the new biome. It pretty much is everywhere. You can easily search like the new biome. Literally in this live stream towards the beginning, I've already talked about it. Everything on the new biome. But yeah, I can just show you how does it look. It is thunder. Okay, I crashed. Never mind. Hold on. That is so silly. Just there you go. So yeah, this is the new biome, the Sunder Uplands. This is a new biome. It's pretty much Radiant Ruins with geotopside below. It's on the map right here. But yeah, that's a new biome. But yeah, A lot of things on what is it, on that new biome is, it's all right. The enemies are kind of tough, but my god, some of the crafting recipes are just some of the most disgusting things that you can ever imagine. It makes no sense, some of the crafting recipes. And lastly, the one that I stuck out for the most was the crystal gems. Obviously, a lot of people are complaining everything related to the crystal gems, more specifically on how disgustingly difficult it is to level them up. And obviously with the stellar to crystal gem conversion being so expensive for the average player, obviously not for the end game or for anyone that has a lot of qubits, but especially for the average player is going to be absolutely disgusting. 15,000 qubits for one gem conversion is blech. And not to mention 1,500 credits. That's a lot. And then obviously everything related to leveling up a gem. Disgusting. That is definitely disgusting. Like the amount like the amount of nice life that you do need in order to upgrade gems to level 30 is just from 25 to 30. It's just like, what the hell are you thinking? And not to mention the fact that they nerfed the amount of cosmic gem sparks, not cosmic, like gem sparks that you used to get. Like that was such a step backwards. Oh boy, that is so backwards. So backwards. So hopefully they tune that down. But yeah. Crystal gems are not too complicated to get. They are not too complicated to understand. It's literally a new gem rarity. Is the same as you get it the same way as you get stellar gems, but upgrading them is a sight to behold, to say the least. And what else? Obviously with the crystal gem conversion is out of this world. But yeah, that covers most of the things. Hopefully everything just some of the things that are obviously a problem gets tuned down or tuned up. Obviously this is a test server. Everything is subject to change, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be here for a couple of weeks. I'm assuming this update will be on the test server for, I would probably say, around 2 or 3 more weeks. So I'm still pretty optimistic in everything related to this update, so that's not that big of a deal. So I'm still optimistic. And considering the amount of backlash, some of the things that they have been getting, yeah, definitely, like, I'm feeling pretty optimistic. Because no one's happy. let's just say that. And yes, it is grind. Not grind. Grind with 3 exclamation points and a parenthesis for no reason. And a 1. But yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Like, already leveling up a gen to level 25, especially without gen booster, is a pain in the ass, to say the least. And then putting in more, like level 26 to level 30, more difficult and requires more resources. Like, it's so backwards. It's super backwards. Yeah, essentially. Like grinding, how much was it? Like grinding at 300 dungeons per hour pace, 3 hours per day for a whole year will net you enough resources to level up one character to level 30 on every single gem. Sheesh. There's just no 3 hours a day for a whole year, grinding every single day without fail, at 300 dungeon per hour pace, or 300 gem boxes per hour. Sheesh. Like sheesh. Trust me, not everyone is going to be grinding 3 hours a day for a whole year for one character. Because it's 3 hours non-stop on hyper speed farming. Do I need to mention that 300 dungeons per hour is extremely difficult to achieve? So, yeah. What is the highest PR on the new gems? I don't know. Some people that are maxed out probably could tell you, but I don't know. It's much higher. That is for certain. With my gems, let me just go over my gems. My highest gem is level 28. It's an Empower with 2400 power rank. And lesser gems have, like, my highest is level 27, which I have plenty of them, level 27. Actually, I have 3 of them, and all of them are either 2.1 to 2.2k power rank. I do believe a maxed out Empower gem is 2800, and lesser gem is 2500. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot of power rank. I will say that. Definitely is a lot of PR. But damn, is it difficult. Damn, is it difficult as hell. Because the issue is, which is what some people fail to understand, like, yes, we are already grinding. Yes, we are already doing all of this without any, any gems or any gem boxes or anything really. Like, we're grinding for the sake of grinding now at this point. But at the same time, we want, when it comes to progression, we want to have a goal that is achievable. This doesn't feel achievable. And to top it all off, you have any idea how many people have full augmented gems, or heck, yes, fully augmented gems on every single gem in the game, on every single character? It's like barely any. Probably like 2 people per platform, and that's it. 2 or 3 people per platform have fully augmented gems. Like, and there aren't very many people that have level 25 gems on every single class. I do have them, like level 25 gems on every single class, and that took me like forever. Imagine level 30, which is much gruesome grinding on every single character with a new character, which there's 18 characters instead of 17 classes. That's way too much. That's way too much. You need a goal that is achievable. If you're seeing that endgame players are just complaining, saying that the grind is too much, imagine an average player. Oh, GG. Have fun. Have fun upgrading a gem, because it's not like getting to Uber 11 is easier. It's still the same. Like, you need to, like, the funny thing is, like, you need to grind. You still need to grind the same amount just to get to over 10, and then to enter over 11 is in over 11 is 30,000 power rank to enter, which 30,000 power rank is not the easiest one to achieve with stellar gems. And then once you do reach to 30,000 power rank, you barely do any damage because enemies in over 11 are tough as all hell. And then by the time that you get to over 11 and you start getting crystal gems, if you want to upgrade your stellar gems, that are already level 25, because to get to 30,000 power and you need level 25 stellar gems. Crystal gem converters are just ridiculously expensive. And then you had to essentially wait, if you don't have Patreon, half a month per gem just to get a just to get them to crystal, so you can actually just start doing over 11 somewhat consistently. And by the time that you actually do get them, you need to level all of those gems up to level 25. Well, you need to level them up, get a perfect gem on all of those gems, level them up to at least level 25 so you can actually start grinding on towards the end game. It's way too convoluted and way too grinding. It's way too much. That's just a slap in the face. Like, you have no idea. It's so bad. It's such a slap in the face. And then again, like, getting crystal level 4 is not easier per se, because the only way that you get crystal level 4 aside from Dells now is inside over 11. And again, like I just mentioned with over 11, unless you have enough light that you can actually just scale out enemies in over 11, you're pretty much just screwed. So you see, like, this update currently right now, it doesn't fit good for newer players, which is what we're trying to just say to the developer, but they don't seem to realize it, which is unfortunate. But I mean, let's just hope they take the reports they've been getting more, more seriously, because for sure, considering how much it takes for the end game player, imagine for an average player who's going to take a whole long while to actually just get to 30,000 power rank in the first place, so they can enter over 11, so they can actually just get themselves crystal gem and just grind down all of those fully crystal gems. And then by the time they get a fully set of crystal lesser gems, they don't have like enough resources to actually just start upgrading those gems, because they require like a bunch of ridiculous 9th life for you to actually upgrade those gems. And it's going to be even more difficult to catch up. Like, it's already difficult, like, for people that were already difficult enough for their mastery. Remember when everyone was saying, oh yeah, mastery is super difficult to catch up. Those endgame players have everything because, mastery, they already are max mastery, yada yada yada, or not even max mastery, but before the Dells update, everyone was saying, it was difficult for the newer player to catch up. Imagine this one is just as difficult, if not more difficult, and much more important. And like I just mentioned, they are trying to add this update for strictly not the end game player. They're strictly adding this update for the player that is maxed out. So players like me, players that are just essentially over 850 total. Like players who have everything. This update is currently right now catered towards those players. Or players like me. Definitely for sure, like, for me personally, I could probably just upgrade my knight immediately within the first week. That could probably be a case. Like, I got so many resources just saved up that I can just immediately just upgrade my character maxed out within a week. But they should not judge it based on what we have. They should just judge it based on what everyone else has, because no matter if you put a lot of resources or very little resources, the end game player is going to be done with the update much quicker, and it's going to be done with the update really quick, because we already have so many things that we already prepare for. We've already prepared for so long, because all of the updates, like the last progression update that we got was again more than 3 years ago. like 3.5 years ago. So we've already gotten so much stuff in terms of the gem system prepared. Like essentially we got 3 or more, like I would probably say an average of 3 years, 2.5 years to 3 years ahead of everyone else. That, you know, is definitely going to hurt the average player, because it's just going to be like, oh yeah, if you want the same thing that all of these players has, you have to grind the same amount of things, like the same amount of years that all of this player has. It's brutal. It's brutal for them. That is just absolutely brutal for them. Like, you know, the average player is not going to have 2 million qubits. The average player is not going to have 159th life saved up. An average player is not going to have well over 1 million gem dust. An average player is not going to have well over 50 million flux, well over 80,000 gem boxes saved out in the personal chest. An average player is not going to have literally almost every single item in the entire game. Yes, personally, me, I do have it, because all of the things that I just mentioned is what I have on my personal account. But the average player doesn't have the same thing that I do, which is not healthy for the game. Don't cater the update for me, cater the updates for those players who are, you know, 30,000 power rank right now. You know, the players who are just transitioning from Uber 10 to Uber 11, focus on them. Rather than focusing on everyone else, focus on them. Maybe the 32,000 power rank currently at maximum. Like the endgame player already has their hands full with some of the other ridiculous crafting recipe that we have to go through. Like, you know, the amount of ridiculous recipes that are in the new biome is ridiculous. It's so stupid. So we are going to be busy with some of the other stuff anyways. And then just putting in a ridiculous amount of grind for Uber 11 for both us and the newer player has to grind out all of that, plus mastery, plus, like, essentially, imagine grinding mastery or grinding stellar gems to level 25 so you can enter Uber 11. And then once you actually enter to Uber 11, you struggle to get to Uber 11, so you can actually just get the rare drop. Once you do get the rare drop on lesser gems, upgrade them like you would upgrade a stellar gem, because it takes as much as a stellar gem to get it to level 25 for some reason. And then once you do get to level 25, it's just going to be a grinding hell just for you to actually just start to catch up, because the amount of gems part that they need to do. All of that on top of the mastery grind that they have to do, crystal level 4 grind that they have to do, gear drops that they have to do for like crystalline core so they can upgrade their crystal level 4, dragons that they have to grind in, considering that there's 4 new dragons in this update. You know, geode mastery. That's just brutal. That is ridiculous. Yeah, just the mastery stuff, just all of this stuff in the new, all of this new stuff related to the new biome. There are so many craftable items because there's a new workbench in this biome, and there's so many craftable items that they are ridiculously overpriced. And not to mention that there are some tradable items that you do get from exclusive 5-star as a rare drop. So that's going to suck as well. But hey, more items, I guess. So you get what I mean. Is they really need to stop doing this on and just get an update towards the players that are over prepared, just so that the newer players don't end the update just immediately. That's it. They need to drop in the update for the average player. The endgame player is going to end the update immediately no matter what. If you want to retain the players, go with the majority of the players. The endgame players are going to have something to enjoy. You know, that's how it is. The more players that you put in this update, the more players that you satisfy with an update, the more players that you're going to retain in this game, and the more money that you're going to make with this game, if that's your main purpose. Your main purpose is money. So if you want money, you want players, and if you want players, you need to cater towards those players. Plain and simple. That's just basic business, and that's just how it is. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm still optimistic. I'm still expecting this update to come out next month. I'm still expecting, like, probably like during Sunfest. I'm expecting this update to come out maybe around Sunfest. No, not anytime soon. Maybe around Sunfest. Or maybe a week before Sunfest. Who knows? But I'm expecting around Sunfest, which is early to mid-July for this update. So there's still plenty of time for them to just fix a bunch of things on this update. So I'm expecting this update to come out mid-July. Early mid-July for PC, obviously. And for console, I'm expecting it to come out next month, mid to late August or maybe early September. Maybe around that area, I'm expecting it to come out on console. Alongside Shadowy Spotlight and alongside Bomb Royale Season 3. So that's what I'm expecting. We have to wait and see. I can just be completely wrong. But yeah. There's someone spamming in global. You. But anyways, that thing that covers everything. I'm going to just keep checking on the Discord server for any of the patch notes. And if there's any important patch notes, I will let everyone know on the Discord server. So I always post in all of the patch notes whenever they drop in something. I try to just drop in the patch note inside, you know, inside that update, inside the Discord server, inside the update. What the hell? So yes, if any of you are not part of the Discord, link in the description. Join a power and platform region inside the Discord server. Otherwise, you are going to get kicked. And yeah, anyways, that's going to be everything for me. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for sticking around. As always, keep everything with a grain of salt. This is still on the test server, still subject to change. I'm not going to sit here and just say that, yeah, this is how it's going to end up being the update. That's not the case. We thus far only got a foundation of how the update is going to turn out. Maybe we're going to see some changes. Like I just mentioned, we've been getting patches every single day with the exception of yesterday. And yeah, so this is still just very much subject to change. With all that being said, thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe for more content like this. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. Take care and keep on hunting. Be on the lookout maybe later throughout the week where I'm going to post out how to get every single new dragon in terms of the new fragments. So stay tuned for that one. Alright, take care.